Like I say, it's early in the morning. It's about 6:30, 6:45, something like that. Come down to the boat. Going to do some bits on the boat today. You can see here, this is the dinghy, and it's going to need some new bearings. These rattle a bit. I think one side's alright, the other side I know isn't alright, but I'm going to change them both out anyway. Get that ready. That's about all that's going to need really, apart from a good clean up. Oh, I need to put a board on the back there. That one's a bit knackered. For some reason, down there you see one of the engines, it rubbed into the back. It's basically cutting a hole into the back of the aluminium. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably rip that off and replace the whole board on that. And then over here, you see I've got lots to do with the boat. I've got to anti-foul it. Still got some anti-foul on, but I'm going to put a fresh coat on. And things like my numbers need to be cleaned up. And you can see in there that something's happened. The pump stopped working, and there is a load of water in the boat. So hopefully my electrics are still okay. I'm going to change some of that though this year again. Electrics don't last in salt water, but I need to get this water out because it's a lot of weight in there. And well, I've got a new pump and a new float switch if I need it, but we'll see. I mean, I did charge the battery up only a couple of months back, and yeah, well, obviously needs more work doing on it. But maybe the might be the battery, it might be the wires or the pump, who knows. We're going to find that out. Now for some reason, somebody's put some bobbers in my boat. That happens sometimes. I don't think they're mine. No, they don't look like mine. They could have been found, thrown in there. Somebody may have just placed them in there temporarily. Who knows? But I'm sure we'll find out who left them there. Maybe they didn't want them anymore. You see the trailer's held up really well. I restored the trailer. Was it last year? I took it home. We put a brand new bar in the back, big galvanised one, round one as opposed to box steel. Because we put box steel in this centre one down there, and you can see. I mean, I don't know if you can see on the camera, but it started rusting. It's not bad, but it did start rusting. As opposed to our galvanised round one. No, it doesn't make any difference whether it's round or square, it still works just as well. We replaced this years ago. It used to have rollers, but the rollers are terrible things. So I replaced it with a wooden plank, like it slides onto it, into the groove. And it's been so easy since we did that. The rollers, I mean, the trouble with the rollers, if they buckle, well, what actually happened was the rollers actually broke at the back, and we put it on one point, and it almost punched a hole through the boat as it broke. Obviously got two iron pieces sticking up, so I decided to scrap that idea. And like I say, ever since we've done that, it's lower down now, so it's not so high up in the air, so you get a better angle when you pull it onto the trailer. It made a world of difference. But you can see here, I take this is where the winch goes. I actually bought a new winch for it, but I take it off. There's only 2 bolts, so I take it off every year. Makes it last a lot longer, and it stops anybody coming along and stealing it. Same with the front, we put a new hitch on it. The bolts are welded. They'll just be ground off if I ever had to change it, because things like that can go missing. It's not that known, but it's very inconvenient, especially when the price of those cast iron hitches. So anyway, I'm going to get this ready. Need to do the gunnels as well. The actual body's a lot better this year as well, because it was, obviously it's fiberglass, but I gave it a spray paint last year, and that seems to stand up better than the actual fiberglass. I suppose as the fiberglass gets older, it was just to make it look a bit nicer, really. You see this side's got a bit of, well, you can't see, but it's got a bit of oxidising, not a lot in areas. Like I say, it's only a thin coat of paint. I just sprayed over it just to, like I say, make it look a bit nicer. Well, I'm just going to go and take a walk down the beach and go and see if my mooring bobber's still there, the inside one. The outside one should be. I saw it there in the winter when I went down looking for those ormers. and if it's not, well, it won't make any difference because I've got to go diving on it anyway this year, as long as I can find it. I'm going to see what's washed up on the beach over the winter as well. I can actually see some rope down here. I did see some of the moorings were an absolute mess when I went ormering, where the ropes had twisted out. Right, well, I can see our bob is still there. We're going to go there in a minute. I'm just going to check something out over here. Looks like there's some rope or something washed up on the beach. Bit of a different video today anyway. We are going to get round to the fishing, but you can't see it at the moment because the tide's out, but there is actually swell out there, and it murks up the water, so if you're trying to use lures, the fish don't see them unless you're literally right on top of them. It's pretty bad. I mean, it's pointless towing a lure around when it's murky. But the spider crabs must be in, or coming in. Look, there's actually a spider crab shot there. It's a big one too. And somebody's either cooked that crab up, thrown the shell back to the sea, kind of thing, or that one's died. You can't tell whether it's orange, but I mean, the sun will actually turn it orange as well as cooking, so probably been cooked, I would have thought, probably. But if somebody's cooking them, they're catching them, so it's surprising that they'd be in this early, because it was the waters are still incredibly cold. In fact, they're colder now than they have been. I don't think it was rope I saw actually. It was just this, whatever that is, bleached weed. It looks like rope from further up. Anyway, let's head over and take a look at the bobber. That's good to see. Like I said, the crab is starting to show up. That shows I've got to get my boat down. Well, at least get out in the small and start getting a few pots going. See down here, there's a lot of stone. They did some work on the wall, and of course they dug out the base of the wall and dug up all the stone. It left a lot of stone here where it was sand, which is a bit of annoyance to some of the fishermen who put their boats on these ropes. They as they come down, if they're banging on these stones, it's not good. I don't tend to leave my dinghy on this. My dinghy's a little bit bigger anyway, but I don't tend to leave it on here because I just take it all up out the way in the trailer. Being that I've got to go up and down low tide mark, you see right over there. It's better if I've got it on the trailer. If my boat was in here more, I would, but I'm quite high up the beach. You see the wall is just there, and it might look a lot further away, but it's actually quite close. So when my boat dries out quicker than the ones that are in the sort of well bit down there. Right. Now we should be good, because I did put, needs to be cleaned. You can see the seaweed grows on it. Get that cleaned off before the boats get down, because you don't want your ropes floating. But all in all, yeah, we should be right. This is only the stern. The stern rope, it's broken there, so there is actually a bit of rope, which is, there's a chain, another chain I put on there. I purposely did that in case it did break, because it was getting thin. But this is only the stern rope, which is for, you see the galvanised chain running there, the newer one. Stopping the boat swinging, I've got like a stern rope, but it's more important obviously that the front rope holds. The back one doesn't really take any strain. And the front one, I have got the chain on it, which is there. This chain actually is, it's getting a bit thin, but it would still easily take the weight. But I did put a mooring rope on it as well, different, so, you know. Hello. Hello. Just come across a friendly dog. Anyway, that looks good. So I'll have a quick mooch around the rocks while I'm down here. Don't want to go too far, I just realised I've got a hole in my boots so I don't get wet feet if I go in the water. This is annoying because I've been in two places the last couple of days where I could have got some boots. I didn't think of it. Well, I didn't know they were broken. So let's go have a look here. You're seeing the, I don't know if you can see, but down here, a little trail. This is the worms that you dig. Ragworm, they call it. Brilliant for bait. Pretty much most things will eat it. It's just the hardest part is actually digging it. But you find it, like I say, amongst the stones and the sand. There's another one trail just there. And these worms, they've got two big fangs on the front that come out their heads. And they will try and pinch you. It's like a couple of needles as they get hold of you. But, like something out of a horror movie, really, if you're not used to it. I thought I'd have a quick look here. This is where I used to come actually when I was a kid, when I used to go fishing. So I used to go off the back of the cliffs. So I used to come down here and collect worm bait, scratch around here. Because you could get to it at quite a, when the tide's sort of half tide or below, you could get to it. And then head off down the cliffs and go fishing for things like wrasse and pollock and anything else that's around. You see all the winkles under there. You can eat these things, but it's sort of a bygone thing. And if you can see the right below the lens, there's a fish. Right. No, I'll come in close, but I don't know if it'll be foggy or not. I won't go in the water. I haven't got the right lens on. But he's just there, hiding. There he goes. Oh, he's back again. Right, let's. Not much happening there. So let's see if there's any crab around yet. There's another different type of fish just there. A little goby. You find a lot of those on the rock. They actually bite if you mess with them too much. But there's a crab there. You might have a female with him. Have a look. No, it's just a male. Just a shore crab. Good for bait. We don't do much else with them though. Another little one there. So some fish love to eat those. So. Right, better get back up and go and start doing some work on the boat.